In the load method of the fixture class, we can create as much dummy data as we want. Right now, we're creating exactly one question, which isn't making for a very realistic experience. If we created more questions, and especially in the future when we will have multiple database tables that relate to each other, this class would start to get ugly. It's already kinda ugly. No, we deserve better. Let's use a super fun new library instead. Google for Zenstruct Foundry and find its GitHub page. Foundry is all about creating doctrine entity objects in an easy, repeatable way. It's perfect for fixtures as well as for functional tests where you want to seed your database with data at the start of each test. It even has extra features for test assertions. The bundle was created by Kevin Bond, a longtime Symfony contributor and friend of mine who's been creating some really excellent libraries lately. Foundry is Canadian for fun. Let's get to work. Scroll down to the installation, copy the composer require line, find your terminal, and paste. The --dev is here because we only need to load dummy data in the dev and test environments. While that's running, head back to the docs. Let me show you what this bundle is all about. Suppose you have entities like category or post. The idea is that, for each entity, we will generate a corresponding model factory. So, a post entity will have a post factory class, which will look something like this. Once we have that, we can configure some default data for the entity class, and then start creating objects. I know I explained that quickly, but that's because we're going to see this in action. Back at the terminal, let's wait for this to finish. I'm actually recording at my parents' house, where the internet is barely a step up from dial-up. After an edited break where I ate a sandwich and watched Moana, this finally finishes. Let's generate one of those fancy-looking model factories for question. To do that, run Symfony console make factory. I also could have run bin console make factory because this command doesn't need the database environment variables, but it's easier to get in the habit of always using Symfony console. Select question from the list and done. Go check out the new class, source factory question factory.php. The only method that we need to worry about right now is get defaults. The idea is that we'll return an array of all of the data needed to create a question. For example, we can set a name key to our dummy question name, missing pants. This works a bit like Twig. When Foundry sees the name key, it will call the setName method on question. Internally, this uses Symfony's property access component, which I'm mentioning because it also supports passing data through the constructor if you need that. Copy the rest of the dummy code from our fixture class, delete it, and delete everything actually. Back in question factory, paste. But we need to convert all this into array keys. As exciting as this is, I'll type really fast. And done. Phew. Okay, we now have a simple array of default values that are enough to create a valid question object. Our question factory is ready. Let's use it in app fixtures. How? First say question factory : new. That will give us a new instance of the question factory. Now, arrow create to create a single question. Done. Okay, it's still not interesting. It will create just one question, but let's try it. Rerun the fixtures. Symfony console, doctrine fixtures load. Answer yes, and no errors. Head over to the browser, refresh, and oh, 0 questions. My one question is probably unpublished. Load the fixtures again, refresh, and There it is! At this point, you might be wondering, why is this better? Valid question. It's better because we've only just started to scratch the surface of what Foundry can do. Want to create 20 questions instead of just one? Change create to create many 20. That's it. Reload the fixtures again. Then go check out the homepage. Hello, 20 questions created with one line of very readable code. But wait, there's more Foundry goodness. Foundry comes with built-in support for a library called Faker, a handy tool for creating truly fake data. Let's improve the quality of our fake data and see a few other cool things that Foundry can do next.